Greetings, viewers. It's your lucky day. I am on a roll here. Now, I was reading your comments, which I do avidly, and I've had several requests for, I say the Koch brothers, but apparently it's pronounced Koch brothers. I find that hard, so I might flip-flop between Koch and Koch. But first, I thought I'd have a little introduction about George Conway, husband of Kellyanne. Now, he gets the Thoth deck because I'm working with it today. Then I'm going to have a long, deep bath. I'm working with the Thoth deck because of the Koch brothers and all the nasty people I've been covering today. George gets a few credit points, though, because he's come out against Trump. Let me just adjust the lighting on this, viewers, and see if I can improve it. One moment. I don't know if that'll make it any better. We'll see when the time comes. So, a little mini reading on George Conway, and then a more substantial reading on the Koch brothers. Okay. So, George Conway, Harvard, Yale, all the prestige institutions. He has been, conservative all his life, it would appear. One doesn't particularly warm to the man, but he has taken on Trump on Twitter, and particularly about the trade wars, saying no one wins a trade war. Hello. You don't have to be a Harvard graduate to know that, but it's good seeing one say it. Okay, I'm amazed Kellyanne's still there. I don't think she goes to work anymore. Has anyone seen Kellyanne? I think she is getting a check in the post, and the best thing she can possibly do is to not go to work. So I think he's forgotten to sack her, or he has no reason to sack her, but she hasn't done anything. I want Kellyanne's job. Just someone tell Donald. Just put that money in my bank account and I'll stay home and not say anything. Okay, so we're going to kick off with George Conway. They've got 4 kids. Here we go. Sorry, between the cat and the pillows. Okay. So George Conway. George Conway, what's his story? Oh, Kellyanne's there. I'll just stick another one out here. All right. These cards are gorgeous, even though they have such a fiendish reputation. As I've said before, viewers, the woman who painted them was a wonderful artist, so that's why I deal with them. Now, his first cab off the rank, or first chariot off the rank, there we go. So their kids aren't that old. You can tell I'm old by thinking of him as not old. Look, he's got the energy of middle age. He's still at a very strong point of his career. He still cares about his career. And what I'm picking up from this is he actually cares about America. Oh, bless George. So that's why he's refusing to be actually in his box over this issue. So he's not going to shut up. He's not afraid of Trump. Kellyanne's also a lawyer. Could be one of the reasons he hasn't actually sacked her yet, because as opposed to shutting up George Conway, it just occurred to me, if he sacked Kellyanne, that would free up George even more. So he's probably had advice, do not sack this woman. He has the Six of Wands. So again, more energy. Now this guy, when you look at a picture of him, looks radically unfit and could drop dead next Wednesday. But even if he's not particularly fit, he's a powerhouse of energy. He's very dynamic. So he's got the energy to carry on. He also gets the Lust card. Bear in mind the Lust card in the Toss deck corresponds with the Strength card in the other decks. So he's a very strong-minded individual. So being married to Kellyanne, you would have to be strong-minded too. She has played an extraordinary dance in this whole thing, because you get the feeling she doesn't believe a word of what falls out of her mouth. She plays the game. But he is very strong. He's strong-willed and he's strong intellectually. He's fought a lot of cases successfully. Now, next to that, got Wands. Speaking of Wands, here she is, the Queen of Wands. That's Kellyanne. They're a very strong couple. They were on the brink of divorce. Does anyone know what's happening there? That's probably not uncommon with two strong-willed people. But either they did divorce and they're still friendly, or they haven't divorced. So could someone in the comments let me know, please, what that status is? This is him, this is her. So they realise together they make a strong team. They make a strong parenting team, but they also make a strong political team of two people. In other words, they don't just merge, obviously, or he wouldn't be saying this. But I've come to begrudgingly admire him to some extent for taking on the pussy grabber at large. Change is coming up. This is the Two of Discs or the Two of Pentacles. The juggling card, the manipulation card. In Thoth, it's change. So what sort of change? It could be that he's going to actually go for broke. As we say in Australia, just go for it. Let me draw another card to clarify that. Ace of Swords. Yes, he is not going to shut up. There is a change coming. He's going to have more to say, because even though he's defended quite hideous clients, I think like Philip Morris or something, cigarette range, he has been a hired gun, but he does have a very sharp intellect, and he does have a respect for the bigger truth. Lawyers have to be able to play with the truth, otherwise they could never defend anybody. But there's something about this Trump administration that fundamentally galls him, that sticks in his gut, that he really passionately dislikes. I would say expect to hear more from George Conway. Go George. Truth of justice. He's doing it for America. Now, in previous readings, I've mentioned the Koch brothers, K-O-C-H, for those of you who are unsure. I've mentioned them, but I haven't done a reading on them, I don't think. Now, what is going on for them? They've been major donors to the Republican Party forever. They're ultra-conservative. But the question raised by one of the viewers, which got me interested, was the weird thing... Oh, let me talk to you directly. Hello. What got me interested in them today, was when you look at this Trump administration, you've got certain players who are about chaos and they're about destruction. So you had Steve Bannon from the early days, destruction, chaos, tear it down. You had Trump going to these car boot rallies saying drain the swamp, tear it down, tear down those elites. Like his gold toilet doesn't classify him as elite. What is wrong with these people? Anyway, moving on. So it's about destruction and disturbing the order and chaos at any price. And the question from the viewer was, is this what is motivating the Koch brothers, as opposed to conservative values and getting, tax cuts for the rich through, and those sort of things which I might personally despise, but I understand the logic. It might be something more crazy. It's like the evangelicals who are perfectly happy with chaos because they think it brings them closer to the rapture. So the end of days was supposed to be chaos, chaos. So the madder it is, the better it is for evangelicals. And that's sort of counterintuitive and a bit weird. But I hadn't thought about this dynamic in relation to the Koch brothers. Sorry, it's hard to take them seriously with a name like the Koch brothers. So, the agenda of the Koch brothers, is it just normal conservative, look after me and my friends and forget everyone else who's suffering and who works for a pittance for me? Actually, have they got a destructive agenda? So, what is the Koch brothers' agenda? Here we go. Oops. Let us see what is happening here with them. I'm just thinking through this, viewers, before I launch into the spread. I was starting to do a 3 and 4 card spread. I'll just keep it simple. I might change my spread. We'll see what turns up here. I'll do a 6 card. Oh, they're deceptive. Okay, what I'm going to do here, it's a spread I haven't done for a while. I decided what to do is, it's a variation on the past, present, future. So it's a mini past, present, future, but these 2 cards are about clarifying the last 2 cards. So I'll talk you through this spread. Okay, it starts, this computer's different from my other one. Okay. The first one they get is the 3 of Wands, which is commerce and trade. Are we surprised? In the Thoth deck, it's called Virtue. In the other decks, it's commerce and trade. So that's perfect in a way. It's like they see virtue in commerce and trade. Well, they certainly do. So in the past, they had the 10 of Cups, which is, this is one of those cards that relates, even though it's a Cups card, it relates to Pentacles and money. So it's about the fulfillment of family desires, of intergenerational desires, of dynasties, wanting to be a dynasty. This is in their past. Then they got the 5 of Discs, or the 5 of Pentacles, the out and the cold card. When people realized they were as sort of single-minded and as weird as they were out in the cold, but they got over that. No, They get the Six of Wands in their current card, which is a victory of sorts. You could say, tongue-in-cheek, they're winning. If they wanted to sow the seeds of chaos, they are so successful. So this is also in their current column. They've got the Prince of Swords. Ooh. How to hold that up for you. Note the relationship to the Chariot. There's a lot of chariots in this deck. Obviously, the Chariot was popular imagery in the 20s or the 30s or whenever these cards were designed. So, but it's different from other chariots. You've got the charioteer is much bulkier, almost like a Thor sort of character. The sword's back, ready to slash. This is a heavy guy. There's two of them, but, you know, they will stop at nothing. Now, the other thing that's different from other chariots, the Chariot has these sort of guy ropes coming off it, being held by mere mortals, smaller people, in their life to keep the Chariot on course. So in other words, they need people to back their agenda if they're going to go ahead with this. And just in case you hadn't had enough charioteering, this is the Prince of Wands, which is led by the Lion. There's one of the Thoth cards that's led by a bull, and this one's led by a lion. This is a more female figure. This could be one of their wives or sisters. This is a very dynastic family. So it's a relative of theirs, a woman in power, who is a power behind the scenes and who is steering this to a very great extent. So then, this is in the near future, nostalgia. The Six of Cups nostalgia card. So they were happier in the past. Right, just hold on a minute. The cat has to get out. Go on, quick. Out you go. God, I notice with all the readers, we've all got animals. We're always letting out dogs and cats. Okay, so past, present, future. What we're up to in the little mini future is there is a woman behind them pushing forward, but they themselves are living in the past. The Koch brothers are not young men, so they're sort of revisiting in a weird way, I don't know, the Weimar Republic or something. Their vision is very dated. Now, I wanted to clarify this, the Prince of Wands card. So although it's a prince, I see it very much as female in the context of this reading. Okay. This is the Princess of Wands. So I picked it as a clarifier for the prince and got the princess. So that confirms my feeling. This is a female in their family. Right. And that's the one. I love this card, where she's swooping upwards, she's grabbed a tiger by the tail, and then the tiger's turned around and is strangling the person with their tail. That's a very interesting metaphor in the sense of they've grabbed America by the ghoulies simply by funding so many ghastly people. And in the near future, it's going to turn around and get them. This, I think, is going to be, this whole episode, by this I mean the Trump presidency, is going to be the end of the Koch brothers as a political force. And I say that for two reasons. One is the flames here, you see. They're going to go up in flames or down in flames, but they're going to get burnt badly by backing this closet Nazi fuckwit, okay? So they've put everything in with him, and they're going to get burnt. Interesting. The other reason I say this, and this was a clarifier for their other card, which was Nostalgia, Hermit Retreat, they're going to disappear down the track as a spent force. That's as I see it, viewers. Right on in. Don't forget the old thumbs up. Apparently that's important for where the videos appear on YouTube or something. So thumbs up all round. See you guys soon. Ciao.